Well, on the 8th of March, we celebrate International Women's Day. What do women do? Well, they do just about everything. They keep the world spinning around. They bear children. They suckle children at their breast. They look after children. They do the washing and the ironing, and they stand in the front line as nurses, as doctors, dentists, all kinds of things. But of course, that wasn't always the case. Women have had to fight very hard indeed for equal rights. And it's been a long fight. And there are some special women that I'll mention just as a reminder, because it's good to look back on history. It's our pioneers who carved the pathway to our future. Of course, the great Madame Curie, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, the first female professor at the University of Paris, and the first person to win the second Nobel Prize, Mary Wollstonecraft, an incredible philosopher, the mother of Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein. Mary Wollstonecraft was really at the forefront of women's rights. Her writing stirred up a hornet's nest and made us think about the balance between men and women and how we could complement each other, not just in the home, but in the workplace. I'm going to go to a legal person now, to Justice Bader Ginsburg. She's one of my particular favorites. She fought very, very hard for rights in America, and she was still sitting on the Supreme Court bench in her 90s. An extraordinary woman. And then there are some wonderful Chinese heroes or heroines that we should remember. The legendary warrior Hua Mulan, the pioneer architect Lin Huyin, I hope I'm saying these correctly, and of course, the Empress Wu, the only female sovereign in the history of China. Now, of course, International Women's Day would not be International Women's Day without us going to the Women's Anthem, and that was written by singer-songwriter Helen Reddy. And I'm just going to read a few words from that anthem because they're very appropriate for the 8th of March. I am woman. Hear me roar. In numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, because I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever going to keep me down again. Oh yes, I am wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. They say it will be 118 years before we bridge the gender gap in the world of our dysfunctional wage system. Let's hope we can break that down and make it, let's say, 8 years.